what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and a link in the info box below the video once it's rendered. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show. Sharing the show increases the live audience, of course, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you are new to the channel or you have not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Nummy Num, Zoe, Ali and Arwin. How are you all doing?
Doing fine, matey.
Doing great.
Good to have you.
Lovely sunny day.
Indeed. Slight technical issue with the last stream, so this will probably get no audience as no notification
The sound is
goes
working.
out.
I just checked it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it is working now. You do a restart or you get a Windows update and it basically knocks out every setting. So I went through them meticulously, or at least I thought I had, and everything seemed to be working. Wonderful. So you start and then someone joins and says no sound and you're like, ah, what? So yeah, bit of faffing, but it's now working. Happy days. Hopefully the advert worked.
Kind of off to a good start there before, but
yeah, one of those things. You live and learn.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how NASA had a period in the 90s where, you know, there wasn't much doing, and you were attributing that to the fact that there was a kind of technological gap. They were waiting for the CGI technology to arrive that would allow them to begin faking the space station and the new wave and the new phase of missions that they have launched since, and the new push to propagandize the masses with the heliocentric propaganda that has taken shape since then.
Yeah, and at the same time, they started introducing the conspiracy culture, mainly focusing on aliens with the X-Files and just a lot of conspiracy ideas being injected. And I think also partly by NASA people themselves, like making rumors like, oh yeah, we encountered aliens, or we saw the UFO thing, the crop circles. They came to the forefront in the 90s, while at the same time NASA was basically being downplayed as they were waiting.
There was the whole disclosure project thing, but I guess that was more in the early 2000s.
No, that wasn't in the 90s. That was in the early 2000s. That's when they started up. Yeah, it was a little bit later.
Whatever happened with that? I don't know. I never paid attention.
It's still going, basically.
Really?
It is like a group that is basically doing inquiries. It's kind of, yeah, there's involving slightly with politics indirectly, basically waiting for an opportunity to become more on the forefront, to do their thing and to start doing research. So maybe it's like a new NASA related project in the waiting. I don't know what they're doing, but I have been keeping some tabs.
They had like hundreds of government officials coming out and claiming that they've had UFO encounters and alien encounters and stuff.
Well, mostly UFO encounters. But there are many UFO encounters, and I don't think that the people that have seen that are lying about it. It's basically, they leave it in the open what it really is.
I think the people in the Disclosure Project who from the government and military are lying about it in all likelihood. I guess I could be wrong, but it seems like it's just...
Well, then they have made a lot of work to do that. And I have seen some footage that looks pretty convincing that I haven't seen debunked. And I know that there are people out there that do their best to try and debunk UFO footage, basically tracing or how do you say, figuring out if there has been some image manipulations going on and all that stuff. And there are just some very genuine pictures and camera footage from within planes of UFOs being seen. So some
Well,
of
yeah,
it is real, and there's some people fooling around with it, trying to hoax it, but some of it is just real.
right. But I wouldn't put it past the government and military to go to great lengths to dupe the masses in support of their giant deception that they've created over the last several hundred years, right? I mean, I think that that's where a lot of that's the sort of one of the main businesses of the military is, in fact.
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's really not what they're doing, because they are not even directly suggesting that it is like aliens. Like, for example, the History Channel with the ancient aliens concept that just constantly insert, yeah, it's aliens, it's aliens. No, these people from the Disclosure Project, they leave it open. They pretty much say it's UFOs. We don't know what they are. Could be
Yeah,
from
but
outer
it's
space,
kind
could
of
be
like
extra.
implicit.
There are things out there.
Well, I think that I personally strongly suspect the Disclosure Project is a controlled operation, just because
Yeah,
of
I
the
do.
Of course it is. It
military.
doesn't mean that these things that they are entertaining are completely fake. Just means
No,
that they
I've
want
seen
to control it.
on my own that I can't explain, other than, I mean, I don't say that they're aliens, but I say, I mean, most of the things are also from, useful idiots again. I mean, they don't have to be lying. They can be shown something, or they can be, or see something, and they'll believe that that is what they're seeing. And then, it's not because they're lying, but,
That's what I'm saying. They leave it open. It's just testimonies of people in planes and such that just encounter UFOs, and they describe in detail like how they responded, how they report back, even just radar detections of objects moving very unlike airplanes with incredible acceleration and sudden turns and all that stuff. And these people, why would they fool around with their reputation just to be entertaining? That no, it's not something they would do.
Because they can create, they can create alter egos within the military
No,
culture, right?
no, that's not. No, they usually rather get into trouble for doing it. So
I don't know.
I disagree.
I don't
They just want to be honest about it, and they're just giving their testimony.
Well,
yeah,
I would.
some people are doing that, but there are definitely also some people that are in on some kind of deception, and it falls very close in with all the military and all the what do you call it? Yeah, all the secret space, the secret, what is it called? The secret space program, and all that. And if we're to believe what's her name about Fanny van Braun, that was saying about the alien card, it kind of just all fits together as some big story.
Of course.
I mean,
Werner
although there are things that, like I said, I've seen something come across the sky very, very far up and very, at night, and suddenly pick up a speed that is not possible for,
well, if you can't identify it, it's a UFO, right? It's a pretty.
Yeah, that's why they call it a UFO.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like, when the ISS thing that you can actually go out and see, which I have actually seen, the supposed ISS, the object that's tracked with the ISS app or whatever. That thing is basically a UFO. Although, at the same time, though, it might not be the right category, because we can't even be sure that these things are exactly flying, right? It's just a point of light. We don't know.
That's just a UFO to us. They know what it is.
Right, but it may not be
the sorcerer things and the suddenly moving spheres of light and the triangles that make formations and all that stuff, it doesn't seem to be known, at least by even the higher circles. Maybe the ones at the top do know what they are, and they are basically using it to keep their underlings interested or whatever. But most people really do not know what they are.
Well, there's no way of knowing that for sure. I mean, I don't think you can assert that as a fact, but
If people would know, then others would find out. You
Well,
could
That's
tell-
the excuse we always use, but no, it's not necessary. You don't have to keep a secret. It's useful idiots will keep the secret for you because they believe so much in it. Not that hard to keep a secret.
Yeah, as long as there's someone in there that controls it. It just takes one person in amongst 10 just to keep
On
an
the
eye
other
things
hand,
in
there's
control.
also other elements, and that is just personal disbelief. That is, if a very high top person that is in the know, that is said to be in contact with the aliens or the extra dimensionals, and just says, yeah, that's actually extra dimensional crap, this is how it works, then other people that were not actually doing that, they would just like, wow, that's like the craziest story ever. I don't know if I believe that. I'm going to remain skeptical. That's also going to happen.
I'd like to say something about this, which is that, you know, the problem, like the problem with whistleblowers and whistleblowing is that, you know, like I've seen things from my own line of work but when I try to blow the whistle, even to people like Arwen, he's just like, no, right? So I work in an industry where I've had the opportunity to have an inside view of how things work in some ways. But if I even try to talk to somebody who's as open-minded as Arwen, he's just like, no, you're not an expert.
That's in certain angles, and then
There's no way for me to blow the
Hey, no.
Hold on, I'm not done. There's no way for anyone to blow the whistle because they're just immediately dismissed, right? Because people prefer a media narrative of some kind or other.
no,
right?
it has
Well,
nothing to do with it. It has basically to do with the reliable of your connections,
right.
the
Well,
reliability.
that's
And
what I'm
if your
saying.
connections are in that specific disinformation region, then it's very easy for them to fool you.
So you
And
think,
they
but
will,
that's what I'm
for
saying.
no good reason.
This is what I'm saying. It's like if anybody who whistleblows can just be so easily dismissed because the the media narrative, anything that ends up, you know, broadcast on television or on the radio or something, just always just looms so much larger than a single voice. So there are lots of people who know about the truth, and there's lots of people who attempt to blow the whistle or reveal things. But even within the supposed conspiracy-oriented community, they're just dismissed offhandedly. So I'm just saying they've set up a great system. There's no way to actually blow the whistle. Because they even control the whistle blowing narrative, right?
Yeah, but that's because there's multiple layers. There's multiple layers in every system.
Right.
Multiple
Hey,
layer
Chocolate.
narrative. There is a giant multiple layer narrative going on in this world with very distinct borders and
What's up, guys?
conflicts within these layers against the other layer.
No, I don't
Hi,
think
moon, stars, usual stuff, Chocolate. You know the score.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hello.
Hello.
All good.
But in any case, that's why I don't even bother trying to convey this information to people because, you know, people already have their preconceived notions of how it works within the government and within the military or whatever. And it's pretty hard to dissuade people as a single individual.
Yeah, it's taken a while to get people to, be more open to the idea of extraterrestrials and spacecraft. You know, it's only 10 years ago, if you would talk to someone about those topics, they would look at you and say, "Yeah, right, it's not aliens, haha." But now it's been, hammered into people's heads with, History Channel and the Disclosure Project and all these, it's become so much more popular and acceptable to believe in quote unquote aliens than not to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even mainstream scientists
have been made used to it.
Even mainstream scientists have come out and claimed that, there's a high probability of alien life due to the number of
Yeah.
planets and things like that, which is actually a complete crap argument. But,
Yeah, but a lot of people use that.
yeah, it's funny because it's a fallacy, right? Because it's like they're basically trying to assert a statistical probability when they only have a sample size of one case.
Yeah. I mean, I've even used that argument. That it would be more probable than
Well, I don't think they're extraterrestrials because there is no Terra outside of this one.
Well, there could be though.
No, there are no extraterrestrials, but there are extra dimensionals. That's what they are.
You're muted, so
Just
just
the
so you know.
heliocentric centralized version.
Arwen's got the facts, right? There's no extraterrestrials, but there's definitely interdimensionals. So
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the facts, Arwen.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know how you can assert things like that. It's kind of bizarre. But,
No, it's hard to prove, but I have had my own experiences, which I talked about on occasion, and I know they're there. I've basically bumped into them. So,
but how do you know there's no extraterrestrials?
because there is no extraterrestria.
How do you know that?
Yeah, how do you know
Because
that?
there is no other world than this one.
How do you know that?
Because there is no signs that there are.
Well, that
except
doesn't
science
mean that there
fiction.
isn't. The fact that there's no science that there isn't, that's a fallacy.
All the sources that I have ever talked to asked.
Yeah, but these sources don't know everything.
We lost Darwin. Getting back on Skype, won't be a sec.
Did we get sniped?
Yeah, well, for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I kicked one. I managed to kick one, but I couldn't get the other. The guy, it was that confusing. There was a Jim Benson, then a guy called Dreary, but I wasn't sure where to kick. I kicked that Jim Benson.
Oh yeah, they're all piling in now. Usual bunch, same list, same order.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Numi had just been muted. That's as much as the damage has got, and we've got Arwen back on Skype, so no odds, no harm, no foul. Who cares?
Well, there's a really weird echo going on from what I can hear.
Nathan, right?
Yeah, I can hear it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a bit of an echo. You sound like you're in like trying to be in a soundproof room or something. It's weird.
How about now? That better?
Yeah, better.
Much better. There you go.
Desk. I hate restarting the computer.
Yep, computers, man. What are you gonna do?
Hey, Dawn, can you hear us?
Smash.
Dawn?
What's up, Dawn?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey Don, how you doing?
Hello, Alec. So, no extraterrestrials. Owen knows it.
Yes, Arwen knows everything. He's the resident expert on all things unusual.
Yeah.
No, I'm just laying a claim.
Are you,
And
Dawn,
time
a
will tell.
globehead, going to come on and now assert the narrative that aliens are real? Is that what's going to happen now?
I believe there's other life out there, yeah.
I love it. Your timing is beautiful, man. I love
Yeah.
you.
Hey, you know where it all started? I wanna believe.
There might be
X-Files.
interdimensionals as well. Possibly.
What does
Well,
that mean?
that's what they are.
Hey, Josh.
That's what they are.
Now they're seizing upon this opportunity to come and obfuscate the conversation.
Hello.
figure out. Are we still off air? I mean, because
No, we're on air now.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened, Nathan? You went on silent for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, I restarted the PC and it did a whole update and every sound setting was adjusted. And I went through them all. I thought I'd gone through them all one by one, and the one I didn't go through was OBS itself. Just one of those things.
But it says off air now, so
No, that's just in the Hangout. This part of the Hangout isn't broadcast. So but it is. You're on air. Trust me.
okay.
You are live. Honest.
Also, hi everyone. Hi Nathan. Hi. Don't kick me. I'm here.
no, we know.
Okay. Please don't kick me.
Owen, are you sure there's no other Terraria out there? Or Terrestria, whatever you called it?
Yes, to my disappointment, yes.
Territory.
Even though the moon looks like it's a terrestrial place.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not, even though it looks like it is.
Doesn't look like it is to me.
Well, it
Yeah,
does.
you know
doesn't
what?
it?
I'm looking at my screen and I'm seeing this beautiful beach, and it looks like a real place that I could just step into, but it's not. It's actually my computer screen.
Oh, okay.
Did you guys actually see today that Karen B, she put out a video talking about the sun and sunspots and the sphere and stuff? So
Yeah.
it just sort of made me think that, like, you sort of flat earthers, you don't really communicate ideas, because she's actually like legit talking that this thing is a sphere. So it's not just a point.
Does it say it's a sphere? Does it? It says it debunks heliocentric model.
Yeah, but she actually just says it is a sphere because she's watching the sunspots move across it and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But,
No.
But,
You
you know what I
haven't
mean?
paid enough attention to her video, because what she does is she details what the heliocentrists believe is happening on the sun as a sphere, and they detail that it rotates. Obviously, to give that explanation, she has to detail it as a sphere when she's explaining what you guys think that sphere does. And in terms of what it does, you have the sunspots rotating from east to west. That's what they do in the heliocentric model. And what she demonstrates is when you actually look at it with a solar filter, they don't. They rotate round a clock face, around a circular disc like a wagon wheel across the sky, not a sphere.
Oh.
Well, flat Earth math.
Helios' wagon wheel.
Yeah,
Flat
it's
Earth
wagon
math
wheeling.
makes
It's
sense.
doing what a clock
Removal
does. It's not doing
map,
what a sphere
like-
does.
like
That's the
you guys
point.
do.
That's the whole point of a video. Either you didn't watch it or you didn't understand it.
I didn't watch it or understand it. I just flicked through. But Glowbusters mirrored it, didn't they?
That's because it's a good
Go-
video.
go what?
Because it's an absolute slam dunk. It shows that the heliocentric model has just made up bullshit about what the sun does and ignored a really important detail about what the sunspots actually do. And they rotate through the sky like a wagon wheel. They do not spin like they're on a sphere. And that's a pretty important detail if it hinges on your model and us spinning around that sphere in the sky, which we don't.
Okay, I'd like to mention that I Flat Earth Math commented on that video that it was due to a lack of a equatorial mount, that the spin effect of this, that rotating wagon wheel effect of the sun was viewed. But
What?
I asked him to explain that in the comments, and he didn't do that. And Karen did actually mention that in her video, so I think there still needs to be some clarification about that issue. I think some of the globe earthers are claiming that if you photograph the moon if you photograph the moon in the same manner that she photographed the sun, that you get the same rotating effect.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Nah. Sorry, but
not-
you've got Phuket Word, who's done exactly the same thing at different locations. He's done it on the equator and he's done it from London. And you can see the differing effects. But essentially the thing is wagon wheeling across the sky. There's no other way to describe it. There's been multiple observations. You can do it yourself with a solar filter.
Yeah, I'm not doubting it. I'm just saying that she addressed that concern, and Chris Monk created a 3D modeling of the effect that she also showed, but there was no response from Flat Earth Math on those accounts.
Hey, Numpty, have you debunked Soundly's video yet?
Well, yeah, actually, I did last summer, but unfortunately, Anthony took the videos down. But yeah, I'm working on some new avenues of.
I've got something to ask you, Numpty. Would you?
Sorry, Dawn. Just before you finish, could I just finish this line of questioning?
I'd like to
It was
continue.
just about Numpty. I've heard you say that you haven't had enough time, like you needed time to do it. And I submit that you're about to spend 2 hours on this podcast just talking drivel. So why don't you spend the next 2 hours to work on this video to debunk Soundly's video?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Behind the scenes, I've watched a conversation that I was lucky enough to set up and therefore be privileged to watch between Chris Monk and Nummy. And ultimately, they've spent quite a considerable amount of time working behind the scenes to formulate a nice presentation that will be both concise and detailed. And you know, to just say, well, present it now because you're going to be talking. So what? He can do what he likes. He doesn't have to present it at all if he doesn't want to. But he has been working hard on it, just so Nummy doesn't have to respond. I'll say as a third party, watching in on it from the outside, he's worked very hard on it.
I think you might going to Lake Pontchartrain would be a good idea if you're trying to debunk Soundly, I think.
Doesn't the fact that Soundly is the only guy who's got these pictures,
Chris Monk model is not the way to
debunk
debunk Soundly.
itself?
Just so
I
you
think
know.
Ranty was going to go to Lake Pontchartrain. He said he would.
I think he's looking for sponsorship, actually, Arwin, so maybe don't mention that too much.
Yeah, I've got a quick question for Numpty Num. A challenge from Scott Veach to debate on ISIS.
Can I 1 second? Can I just interrupt here? The guy's name's Nummy. Stop acting smart asses, you and Josh. Sorry, Don, but stop acting like smart asses and having a wee internal giggle to yourselves. The guy's name's Nummy. Call it by right and stop acting the smart ass.
My name's actually Josh, so you know you can just call me Josh. He's gone by a weird screen like alter
Right,
ego.
it's Nummy.
And so-
But wait a minute. So stop trying to act the smart ass and score whatever points so you can go back to your wee other chant and go hee. I called him Numpty.
Dummy
'Cause it's
dumb.
that
I'll
kind
call
of
him dummy dumb.
You can call me
Yeah,
whatever
it's-
you want.
it's-
The fact is,
it's
So you got
definitely
anything
Numpty.
interesting to contribute, or are you just trolling?
So Scott Veach wants to debate you, Nummy, if you're up for it. The challenge is there.
debate me on what subject?
On Earth being a globe, I should imagine.
Why does he want to debate me specifically? Why doesn't he come on the show?
Because he doesn't like the show, like most people now, most Globers. But he thinks you've had quite a voice recently, so he wants to take you on separately.
He doesn't
Outside the circus of Nathan's rules.
Okay, well, so what would be the conditions of the debate?
I don't know. It's just the challenge. That's all I'm. He asked Kimo to ask you, but I
Tell
thought
him to send me a message saying where, when, if there's going to be moderation, what the subject will be. Maybe and then I'll consider it. I mean, I'm not just going to.
Okay, cool.
To whatever.
Cool.
Nathan's only rule is don't curse. Why wouldn't he come in and debate? I don't understand.
Because this hangout's devolved into something else, really.
Because he thinks he's going to corner me all by myself, and I'm not going to be able to cope with it.
No, he's a very reasonable man.
Oh, I bet.
It's
Well,
not like
if he's reasonable, then he
beef.
should have
Hey,
no
is that
problem
Haunted?
here.
Hold on, guys. Is that you, Haunted? Jonathan?
Good morning. Yes,
Good morning.
it is me.
Good to have you.
Haunted, what's up, man?
Well, I am flattered that people are interested in taking me on personally.
Yeah, you just got a lot of opinions recently, the last month or so. So I think that's what spurred him on.
You're having me on. 12 months ago, you debunked Soundly. I was on the show that he did it on.
No one's debunked Soundly.
Yeah, he has.
No,
They haven't.
Could actually Nummy, Nummy, there you go. Could you just give a quick summary? Like what's the Cliff Notes version, the vibe? What's the debunk? What is it?
No, I'm saving it for when I do the presentation. Sorry.
Look how you guys jump to defend Soundly.
Yeah,
Hey
I know.
Nathan,
When he was the only guy who's gotten his ridiculous footage.
Yeah, but okay, you say this ridiculous footage, but it really is just a guy that's gone out and recorded stuff with a camera.
and I completely
and then
understand
put
that.
it
But you
online.
guys call that
Whereas
you
Nummy's
guys call
actually
that
saying-
curvature.
No,
You guys
no,
call
but
that actual curvature of the
actually
earth.
saying.
That's
Nummy's
why
saying-
you guys sound stupid.
No need.
Nummy's saying that Soundly actually faked it, whereas it's pretty clear to most of us that it is footage, like it's just real footage captured by a camera. But
No, I
Nummy
get
is
that.
saying that he's got proof, and he can prove that Soundly actually photoshopped it, went
Why don't you
into
wait
Adobe
until
After
I don't
Effects.
know
You're gonna have to be
personally whether the
patient until
footage
he's
is
ready to
doctored or
present
not.
it.
Why are
All
you
I'm
trying to
saying
bring it
is you guys call that footage curvature of the earth, and that's just ridiculous.
No, I think photos from space is curvature of the Earth. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
You're trying to preempt the presentation, but why don't
Yeah,
you
look,
comes
I've
out?
No,
got a
Nummy, we've
photograph.
spoken before, Nummy, and you have said that it Soundly has faked his images.
Well,
Faked.
that's what I think.
Nathan, do you want to share my screen there? There's a debunking already.
Yeah, sure.
There's a picture. Go for it. Stick that up.
There you go. Europe.
That's not debunking. Sorry.
Well, have a look. It's a full pylon from 20 miles away. That guy in the boats, that's the pylon that guy's looking at.
Yeah,
And
I'll
that's from
send-
60 miles away. Right, okay, so count from the top and you can clearly see. And don't say where's the bottom or do a cat earth.
It's
Where's
totally
the beach.
different shape.
It's the same pylon, my friend.
No, it's
You
exactly
go-
the
Why
same
are the
shape.
pylons on the right? Why can I see like eight?
Never mind that. That's
cross-sections?
immaterial. That's immaterial.
No,
that
that
should
that
right,
proves it's not the same.
No,
that
it
is
is the
that's
same.
the same. That is the
I
same.
can
pylon.
see like 8 very distinct crossbars across
Look
that
at the
picture.
very past. Look
And
at
on
the
the
very
left one, I can see 4.
Yeah, but
you're right,
yeah,
the
on
one
the
at the back
left,
is 4.
there is
It's the
no
same
mirage
pylon.
at the bottom part reflecting the
Yeah,
under
it's-
part downward.
The
Yeah.
bottom
That's
of it
the
looks like
difference.
a glass bottle or something, whereas the other one just looks like a pylon.
Yeah, because you're next to it. The big picture is you right next to that pylon on the other side of it, looking back towards where that camera shot is up in the right hand side corner.
I'm sorry,
you're
Ali,
basic-
can you just treat me as stupid and tell me exactly what I'm looking at there?
Right, okay. The little photograph on the top right hand corner is a screenshot from Soundly's video, right? The big picture is the photograph of the same pylon, but from the little
How do you know it's the
estuary.
same pylon, though, Ali?
Shall I tell you why? If you go to Google Maps, there's a guy that sailed. That guy that's in that boat there sailed all the way around Lake Pontchartrain. Okay, go and look, and that is that same pylon. It's the guy.
Right.
Just go into Google Maps.
You can't see the shore or the bottom of the pylon in Sandy.
Yes, all right, yeah, that's fine. But you're seeing a mirror effect. But you count from the top. You're seeing all the pylon, then it mirrors.
Yeah,
Look
but
at
I'm sorry, Ali, on the photo.
Don't
the
be
big
sorry. Hey, listen, don't be sorry. It's okay.
Okay, well, I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry because I'm just not quite understanding. The big photo doesn't appear to be zoomed in at all, whereas the little photo appears to have a lot of zoom on the camera.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Well, the big photo, it sort of almost looks like the guy is holding up a
Jose.
selfie stick or something and just taking a photo of
I'll
himself.
stay mute.
Cool.
I'm here.
Do
Whereas
you
the
appreciate,
okay, that's
Josh?
fine.
Sorry,
Right, that's
Josh.
fine.
Just to
I'm not gonna
interject,
argue
I'm really
about it.
sorry.
I've
Sorry to
presented it.
interrupt.
You
Sorry,
can
Josh.
do what you like
Do you
with it. I don't
appreciate
really
that you
care.
can achieve the same thing by traveling closer to an object, as with zooming?
No, Nathan, that's obviously crazily different.
Well, obviously
What?
not, as we've got literally a demonstration of that. He's on a boat and he's got closer, and it looks the same as when zoomed in, right? So we have that on
That's
screen
amazing.
right now.
Hang on, Nathan. But what do you think about microscopes? Do you think that if you just get your eye closer and closer to the table, that you're going to see the level of detail that you see that you would if you look through a microscope?
Nah.
That photograph, sorry guys, that photograph, the big photograph, the guy's about, I don't know, what is he, about 50 meters away from it. You can go into Google Maps and you can actually take a tour around the whole thing on that guy's boat. That guy sailed all the way around Lake Pontchartrain, and that is him going through an estuary, passing by that pylon that you see in the small picture. And it's the exact same. You count from the top, it starts widening up, and at the very bottom on the small picture, it starts
Where are the
reflecting.
pylons on the big picture?
Them pylons are 300 feet apart. You understand? If you don't look, just go to Google Maps and you
So
can
he's,
see them
he's
right down.
between one of them and the other one's hidden behind
No,
the small photo.
no. He's if that guy turned round, right, he'd see the other side of the shore, right, and he'd see that pylon continue on into the.
You'd
into
see the other
land.
side of the shore.
Yeah, because he's
look,
in
I'm
an
sorry,
estuary.
Ali,
Right, listen,
I
listen,
actually have to stop
listen.
you right there. We know that you're not
He's
allowed
in
to
an
say
estuary.
on this
Listen,
channel.
he's in an estuary, right? He's driving. So on his left-hand side, which is there, is the pylon that you see in Soundleys. Now, if he turned right, because he's got, you know what an estuary is? Yeah.
You can't say if on this channel, Ali. I'm so sorry, but that's been proved time and time and again.
Listen,
you are
go
not
to,
allowed to
right, I
say
tell you
if.
what, right, here we go. Just go to Google Maps and look for yourself. Simple as. It's not even worth arguing about. You haven't even looked at
Ali, Google Maps was made on a sphere. If we go to Google Maps,
That's
we
a
will learn
photograph.
the Earth is a sphere.
That's a photograph. There is no curvature in 50 meters. That guy's about 50 meters away from you.
I can kind of
Pictures
almost
of
see
that
the
animal.
That was
curvature.
awesome.
It's quite
Love it.
interesting how the shore disappears, isn't it? And the bottom of the pylon.
Oh, it's fascinating.
It's a
Fascinating.
causeway,
Fascinating.
so it's built on the ground. It's not built in the water.
Oh, that pylon's in the water. That pylon that you see is actually in the water. It's on the other. It's actually on the other side of the estuary. That pylon. What it does is the pylons go all the way there. Then it comes to a little strip of land where the estuary starts, and then on the other side of that estuary where that boat is that pylon. And then if you look further towards on that guy's right-hand side, the pylons continue onto land, and then they split off. Go check it out. It's dead easy.
I
Takes
guess
2
it
minutes.
is an argument against that
Shall
one.
I bring it up? I mean, I could bring it up on Google Maps. No, I'm not going to bring it up on Google
It's
Maps.
not a debunk of Stanley's work, but it is an argument against it.
Well,
What
thank
are you
you,
saying
Gordon. That's
Soundly
good.
has? That's
That's
what I
good.
think is hilarious. That people actually took that photo seriously. That he localized the curvature of the Earth in that photograph is absolutely insane.
It's funny
Absolutely
too.
ludicrous to take
Every
it
time
seriously.
That's what I said before. Like, you guys call that curvature of the Earth? That's
I
just
know,
stupid. Like, you guys sound
I would give
ridiculous.
Stanley credit if he pulled this one off. Is like, I'm gonna get them to go nuts over this photograph.
It's more than one photograph. It's live video.
Yeah, it's funny. Literally every time he goes out to photograph that causeway or the pylons, he sees this incredible curvature effect. But if you look at the public record of photographs of, like, the causeway or the pylons from any other source, and I've literally looked, and I think I've looked at literally every single publicly available photograph of those locations. Not a single one of them shows anything remotely close to that.
You think Stanley faked this?
So it's not repeatable.
Match the maths, just to add to the narrative. So he's trying to trick you all by adding to the narrative.
I thought you don't think it's a little. You don't think it's a little suspect
Made
that
it match the math of the globe.
No, Dawn,
Really
Nummy has proof. Nummy has proof and evidence that he can show, and he's about to present in a video that Stanley faked it all.
Wait, so you guys don't think it's the slightest bit suspect that Soundly's the only one who gets this footage?
Well, why doesn't anyone else? Why don't one of you go there and try have a look?
Can I try and answer that? Sorry, I'm going to give Dawn an answer to that question. The reason we don't need to go to Lake Pontchartrain to ascertain whether or not Soundly got it right is because if we live on a sphere, it's a sphere absolutely everywhere, from every single position, from every location. You should be able to demonstrate that you're on a sphere. But we can't demonstrate that we're on a sphere from any position. And if you want to tell me that we have to go to bloody Soundly's location just to see the sphere, that's ludicrous.
No, if you want to dispute his work, go to the place where it was made.
No, I should be able to get the sphere from here.
That if someone went to that spot and used a P900 zoomed all the way in, would not take the same photo. Is that your position?
That's my
position. Saying it hasn't happened yet.
But you haven't tried it. You're just asserting that.
Well, I haven't tried it personally. No.
Well,
I have a lot of. The thing is that the P900. The only difference between that and a normal camera is that it has an extreme zoom capability, right?
Well, but that's exactly what we're talking about.
Hey, I've looked at the entire record of photographs of that area, as far as publicly available, as pretty much the entire record. I've looked at hundreds and hundreds of photos of the Pontchartrain Causeway, and not a single person.
All taken before flat Earth happened, probably when they weren't looking for cameras.
What a waste of time! What an unbelievable waste of time that you just did. You just spent your time clicking at tourist photos. Well done.
No, they're not just tourist photos. They're news photos. They're various kinds of, just documents and records of the area.
So even if his picture is 100% fact and not doctored in any way, you guys really think that that's the actual curvature of the Earth? Like, if you got into a helicopter and flew over that part of the Earth, you guys think you would see that curve in that exact way.
No,
I think that if I stood in that exact same spot with that same camera and zoomed it to the same distance, I would take those same photos.
Well,
why do they assume it's the curvature of Earth and not the curvature of those electrical towers? The way they were planted. To say that they're all the same height is a little ridiculous.
Neither one of those things. There's no curvature on the towers. There's no curvature on the Earth. It's ridiculous. It's
those assertions that make Scott want to debate you, I think.
Okay, well, when other people have photographed the causeway and not seen the curve,
they weren't looking for curve, were they?
Oh yeah.
Why does the curve have to be looked for?
Out of the
because Earth happened in 2015, and you're all crying for it. That's why.
Yeah, but why is it so elusive? Why do we
Dawn,
have to go
if
to
there
that?
was
Hold
a
on.
curve, it would come.
Why is it so elusive, Dawn? Dawn, hold on.
Sorry,
Why is it
Zoe,
so elusive? Why do we have to go to Pontchartrain to get this? It should be everywhere, right from my feet.
Yeah. If one were to see the curvature of the Earth,
you know full well you need a structure across a
you can't see
level
part of curvature. You only see the whole thing or nothing.
Plus, if that was the size of the curvature, it would be like a pimple on Earth.
Yeah, except it fits the mass of the globe. That's the only trouble.
It has to continue. It has to continue.
And it's,
what do you mean
it's over water?
If you're seeing something curve, it's going to have to continue its arc all the way around the circle.
So what's your argument?
So he should be able to move forward and see more of it.
Well, he could.
But he didn't.
But he has. He's gone across the lake.
Yeah, he's got a full circle?
A full circle? What are you talking about?
And he dipped down around the curve?
Earth? He's got the picture of that?
This is silly, Haunted House.
No, what's silly is you saying that people have to go look for the curve to see it on any photograph. If it was there, it would be evident on every photograph.
No, that's not true.
Yes.
I'm looking at another picture.
That's too big for it to be evident on every
in New
photo.
Orleans, U.S. Route 11 goes right across, and there's another set of electrical towers, and they don't do that thing. They go off into the distance, and
you're being silly.
They retreat. No, they go to like the center of the.
I don't believe anything you say.
But hang on, that's not true. I've seen videos from flat earthers that show perspective, and they show all of the street lights going down. Right?
Look,
like
there's another guy who went. Look, I have footage of another guy who went and took the exact same shots as Soundly and did not see anything close to the same effect. Look at my screen. Okay.
It looks like it's curving behind the horizon.
No, okay. Well, go to see this guy's footage, Andrew John.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, well,
I'm also looking at it, and it's exactly the same. Those things are falling down.
Okay, we'll put them side by side then. Okay.
It's a curve in the bridge.
It's not a curve in the bridge. It's built.
No curve in it. Look, I'm going to put the shots side by side. These guys say it shows the exact same thing.
I know you don't believe that's a curve in the bridge, Haunted House. That's another lie.
That's a hill, Auto Hoaxer.
That's a lie.
Nummy, you could actually end this all now just by presenting your proof that the photos were faked.
Well, I'm not ready yet.
But isn't it just a kind of, here it is. This is the proof. It's the one weird thing about flat earthers. They take an hour to talk about just one thing that should take 30 seconds.
You guys seem pretty nervous about me doing this.
Yeah,
that's because
everyone's
waiting for a laugh. Nobody's nervous.
The reason it takes an hour is because you lot keep interrupting, so we can't. If you just left it alone, it would take 5 minutes. But you don't.
Based on speculation.
There you go. See, you've just done it again.
No one interrupts.
There you go. And again,
personal private video.
And again,
you can just present video.
And again,
you guys still haven't presented. You guys still haven't presented curvature or proof of R or any of that.
Proof of R.
But you're pressing Nummy.
Okay, well distracted. Hold on. Now we've got the two side by side. Hold on. Sorry, Chocolate. Bear with me. Dawn, hold on. Right. So there they are. Can you all see them? They're side by side.
Both curving behind the horizon.
No. One has got a pronounced curve on it. It dips towards me in the foreground, the right-hand side one. The one on the left does not, and it is completely flat.
Completely flat.
Yes.
Why is it disappearing behind the horizon then? Bottom
That's
first.
perspective. The things get smaller.
No, perspective does not make things disappear bottom first unless
Yes,
you
it
change
does.
the bloody
Otherwise, you'd
definition.
see forever, you moron.
I feel like I'm looking at the exact same image. What is wrong with you?
Are you
people?
happy changing the
Okay,
definition?
hold on for a second. Just be patient. Okay, I'm gonna just show you something.
Now it's flat.
No, okay. So we got these two pictures, right? I'm gonna use the.
They both show obstruction badly.
Maybe
No,
flat
watch
Earth is just
This
Mac
is not
people.
good for your argument, Nummy.
No, watch this. I know you're scared. That's okay.
This is funny. I'm not scared.
You are showing curvature right now, Nummy.
Just be patient.
Right? Perspective line. Right?
No, that's not a perspective line.
Yes, it is.
What?
It's drawing in multiple lines to the point of convergence.
Yeah, convergence does not make things disappear bottom first.
They converge.
And then if we try to draw a similar kind of line on this
Thinking about me.
look what happens. It doesn't follow
Yeah,
the.
but Nummy, that's all about Zoom.
Yeah, but what? So you're saying that
Nummy,
these videos
sorry
are
to
showing the
interrupt.
same
Can you just
thing
swap
when they're
them
totally
Sorry,
not?
Nummy, can you just swap
No,
them
that's
over?
all about Zoom.
Hold on. I just want the audience to be
No,
able to see what.
they're both zoomed.
Hold
This is
on,
just
hold on,
nothing
hold on.
needed.
Can you just swap them round so the left image is on the right and the right image is on the left, just so it fits on the page for the audience better? Just swap them over.
Sorry, I don't understand what you mean.
Swap them around so that you've got the bit that's curving on the most extreme right of the right-hand picture just is off the frame of the audience and what they can see. That's all.
Yeah, it's flat.
So if you can just swap them around, that's all.
Like just
You know what would
Exactly.
work? You know what would work?
Perfect.
You know what would
Perfect,
work
perfect.
really
What do you
good
mean?
if you took the picture and did like a flip to it, flip one of them so they face both
mate.
towards the.
I wonder why the vanishing point is behind the ocean there, the lake, whatever.
No, I'm just saying. Look at what happens on the
Why
vanishing.
is the vanishing point behind the horizon though?
It's not. It converges with the horizon. The vanishing point's always going to converge with the horizon.
Yeah, not if you follow that line.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I don't think you understand perspective.
I do.
He
I've
must be
read
an
the
art
definition.
student.
Okay,
You're the,
all I'm
you're the
trying
one
to-
adding parts to it, like bottom
What I'm
first.
pointing out is that these two videos are nothing alike.
Yeah, they are very alike. They both show obstruction.
No.
They both show the towers disappearing bottom first into the lake.
100%. They both show the
Not what I'm
towers
pointing out on this.
disappearing bottom first into
That's
the
not
lake.
what's being pointed out by these photos. Am I presenting this well enough, Nathan? I wasn't.
Yeah, we get the picture.
Yeah.
Obstruction, blatantly.
Hey, look what happens over here.
I'm
Right?
actually
So
not
follow the
sure
lines
what
of
the red line is about. Like you've got the red line on the right-hand picture now.
Wait, so you guys can't tell the difference between these two pictures? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Well, you okay?
Do you
Listen,
think Sally's
Okay,
one is CGI?
that explains everything.
Slightly
I'm
more.
I'm addressing the claims that you guys made. You guys said that these two videos show the exact same thing, right? They do not.
No, that's your straw man. We're saying they're very similar. They both
No,
show obstruction.
No,
No, you-
one shows a pronounced curve, although, yeah, if you can swap them around,
Yeah,
Nummy, just
you
so
guys
Soundly-
know Sally's videos are taken in a
Dawn,
different
I
way.
know this is annoying. I
special
know this
angle
is
and a
very
special
triggering.
zoom.
Just try to calm
Yeah, but
down.
Nathan, a curve is a curve is a curve. So if it's curving in any way, the Earth's round, right? Like
No.
you know, like
Yeah, but it isn't.
maybe in crazy conspiracy world, the Earth is bigger than it should be, or something like that. But it's still a curve.
Right, but it isn't on the left-hand image. So on Soundly's image, there is a curve. On this guy image, whoever it is, oh, he's trying to debunk Soundly. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he went to the Pontchartrain Causeway and took the exact same shots. That's what he did, and he didn't say, and it didn't show anything like what Soundly showed.
Except it showed major obstruction.
Sorry.
Nobody-
Could I just reverse this for
Nobody
1
has
second,
done that.
please?
They're still going behind the horizon, Nummy.
Yes,
You're showing
I'm so
a video
sorry.
of Lake
That's not what we're
Pontchartrain
talking about. We're talking.
being obstructed.
Because Dawn, things are still getting farther away from you, man.
Yeah, that
So,
doesn't
no,
make things disappear from the bottom.
Nummy, could you please
Let's
tell
not
me
be
what
direct.
When
is
things get
actually
further
the
away, they
difference
get
between
smaller
these?
to a point. They do not disappear from the bottom.
No, look at this. It's this rounded curve that Soundly showed, and that this thing going.
There's a rounded curve in the other one at the bottom.
No,
the
not.
first towers.
I showed that there wasn't when I showed the perspective.
Draw the line
Nummy,
from the top left corner of the top first tower.
Nummy, what do you see? Could you please just explain what you see is the difference between these two?
I just showed it.
No, you just drew some crazy lines everywhere. Could
But
you
that's the
just
problem. You guys
say
don't
it?
understand what the purpose of the lines he put up there was.
The
You
purpose
guys
of the
can't
lines
even
is to
follow.
try and argue his point.
No, I've done it. Like it's up on. It's gonna be up on the video. I've already done the job. I'm not just gonna keep repeating it for these guys.
No,
It's
me,
Oh, look,
I
the red line
understood.
doesn't
No, no.
debunk soundly. Sorry, a red line is not good enough to debunk
yeah. Well,
soundly.
I didn't claim that this was.
If you don't even understand what the red line was about, then you're not even.
I
Like,
do
I don't even know what to
understand.
tell
These
you.
guys
I
are-
understand.
These
Forget it. These
images
guys are
show
just here
the
to mock
same
you.
thing.
So whatever. I mean, I showed it. If you don't understand it, it's not my fault.
I understand it, but it doesn't debunk soundly. You showed obstruction again.
That's not-
And 100% did not prove a flat Earth.
Obstruction from the bottom first over distance. It's
That
perfect.
wasn't.
It's
That
perfect.
wasn't. That
Go
was not.
proof.
That was not what was being demonstrated by the comparison.
That's
so-
what you showed, though.
No, me, the best way to do it is just let them ramble on. Stop the conversation. Do what I done. Walked away with it. You've
You
shown it.
showed Pontchartrain
We saw
pylons
it.
being
We
obstructed from the
saw it.
bottom first over distance.
Saw it, and just let them ramble on about it because they'll just end up digging their own holes. Right? There's no point feeding into it. Just let them show you the best way to do it. Show your evidence, blah blah, and then just let them argue amongst themselves about it. And because all they're going to do is just argue about it.
Hey, Ali, have you got anything to add to the flat Earth argument?
Not for you, I haven't, because it's quite pointless talking to any of you because you just
Hang on,
interrupt.
aren't you trying to convert the entire globe?
No. Hey, listen, no, I'm not trying to convert anybody.
Pretty sure that's what you're trying to do.
Well, if I was, I would have spent another hour arguing with you and Don about what that picture I showed, where I chose just to walk away. I do it. I present it, and I'm offski. That's it. I don't waste my time. I don't waste my
Yeah, yours was a better argument against soundly
on people. I don't want. Yeah, thanks, Don. But I don't. I've decided not to waste my brain cells. I've got better things to do with my brain cells, trying to convince people that don't want convincing or don't want to even look at it or can't even conceive of holding the idea.
Just play it like a game, because none of us are converting any of us, are we? We're not converting.
Why do you think that you have to actually convince someone it's a flat Earth? Shouldn't you just?
I never said that. I'm not trying to, Josh. I don't have to, and I'm not.
Not called flat
I'm
Earth.
just pointing out. I'm just pointing out the flaws. I'm
Can I
just pointing out the
address
flaws in
Zoe?
your character. That's all. Oh, on you go, sorry.
Zoe, how do you feel about Nummy Num presenting obstruction from the bottom first just now? Embarrassed, I'm gonna imagine.
Yeah, crickets. Yeah, embarrassed, horribly embarrassed. Thought
Do I really need to remind you of diffraction-induced optical slants? Really?
They,
Do I really need
they
to do
don't need
that?
to be reminded. They're just trying to somehow win their point
Well, it's
by
just funny.
acting like they don't understand what Nummy just put on the screen.
I understand
don't
it
get
fully.
it.
I'm not acting like I don't understand
You
it.
guys don't actually understand that all you're doing is taking long distance photos.
You
and arguing
definitely
about
don't understand it because you said when the lines were on the screen that you don't understand what they mean.
They were
If you
terribly.
can't tell, if you can't tell the difference between the two pictures, then you have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, great. Let's get into an argument
That
with you
those
guys.
two pictures being different proves a flat Earth, and you don't know what you're
I
talking
think
about.
we should do as Ali
They're
suggested.
just
let these
desperately
guys-
clinging on to their bulge. Come on.
Just let
Yep.
them dig their own grave here, because they're.
That's
I'm-
correct, Darwin.
I
They
don't
are
think-
desperately clinging onto their bulge. That's right.
Solid, good. Hey, I haven't learnt this from you guys. Ad hominem. That was an insult. You just insulted us.
Yeah, it's not my bulge.
Yeah. we
Not
can-
my
Do you understand the
Insults-
significance of what that
insults are
statement
taken,
means,
not
though,
given, actually.
Dawn? Do you understand what
Insults are
that means
taken,
when
not
we say
given.
you're clinging onto the
Hey,
bulge?
Ladies present.
Ali, you're being quite vocal. So what's your number one? What do you think is your number one that the Earth is flat?
My number one that the Earth is flat is because science tries to ram it down our throat that it isn't.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. That's a weird stance. Just
So-
because someone tells you something, someone says, "Don't cross the street because the man is red," and you think, oh, no, screw that guy. I'm going to try and cross the street.
No, I never
to the
said
man
that.
who's
He
there."
answered your question. He answered your question. What's
Yeah,
wrong with his answer?
Yeah, psychological
Josh,
proof for a new
Josh,
reality.
can you find a curved body of water?
Look, there's no point talking to me about those sort of dumb things because I
Why
accept
is that dumb?
photos from the
Why
Himawari
is that?
satellite.
Wait. Why is that dumb?
Because
You heard it,
I
because of
accept the
satellites.
fact
You
that
believe in
mankind-
curved water, bro.
All the
How is that
oceans on
dumb?
Earth. All the oceans
Could
on
you-
Earth. I'll pick
Could you
those.
please stop talking over me for just 1 second? I accept the fact that man has put satellites in space and take photos of the Earth every 10 minutes. Like,
Okay.
you
Why
know,
do you
I
believe
accept
that?
that.
Lovely.
Why do you
So
believe that?
why wouldn't I believe that?
So you genuinely look
Sounds
at those
kinda
pictures from
fantastic, that's
space
all.
and think it's real.
It
Yeah, that's
sounds
what he
kind of
just said.
crazy,
Every-
if you ask me.
Everything
Exactly
NASA
what he just
shows you
said.
is real.
That's what he just said, though. That's exactly what he just said.
You could take a picture from an airplane. You could take a picture from a unmanned aircraft, like a drone or something. Why would you need a satellite? And not only that,
not?
when
Why
does it
not?
start to float? When does it start to float in midair? That's what I want to know.
Okay, maybe this is just me being lucky because Japan, they put up the Himawari 8 satellite, and because it's in a geosynchronous orbit over Japan, so it stays basically over, right? But Australia is just south, so we actually get all of the benefits from the fact that they're taking photos of themselves, but we get to see it. And during this flat Earth stuff, I have looked and I have seen, and it is crazy scary how accurate it is. I can see me down in Melbourne, Australia, and I can see clouds and storms and things. When it's a bright, perfect, clear day, I can see that there's nothing in the sky. But if I look at if it's cloudy and rainy, I can look at
And with that, I'm going to say first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you dislike the show, you know what to do, but if you like the show, consider smashing the like button, maybe sharing the show, and subscribing if you've not done so already. Also, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!